Wow, we're back reading this trash after how long? It's been like, what? Probably at least 6 months, if not more.
Well,
um,
I'm not even sure if you're done all the other. You haven't uploaded the other chapters before this video
I
comes out.
have, I think.
Oh, you have? You done
I
8?
I believe I've done 8. Yes.
Oh shoot, man. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So,
Wow, it has been a long time.
I think if I recall correctly, in chapter 8, Jack
It was
owned
a
a
filler.
restaurant. Yeah, it was complete
It was
filler.
filler.
Jack owned a restaurant randomly, and Tana was working at on it, and there was stupid shipping that nobody cares about between two completely irrelevant characters. And yet somehow Jack still found a way to completely self-aggrandize and insert himself into that situation.
Somehow a chapter where he just somehow owns an entire restaurant is considered a filler when discussing his life.
Well, yeah,
That's how
man.
important he is.
He's just the coolest person ever alive. Oh god, I'm kind of not looking forward to reading this story again. I'm getting reminded of.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, you know what?
Author's note. Author's note. Time for chapter 9 of the story. Doesn't sound like you're ready, Gabe. Are you ready?
Oh, he says "Here we go," and I think that's Mario's catchphrase. So, bit of
Yeah,
plagiarism.
yeah, that's kind of wrong. Disclaimer: I don't. Oh, wait, Gabe. Does he not own the Crash Bandicoot franchise?
I think he's been lying this whole time. He's finally come clean.
It's been like 4 months, even though the fact that this was posted in 2020 and it hadn't changed. Like, he still didn't get the Crash Bandicoot. Even by the end of the story, he still didn't own Crash Bandicoot.
I think he should have shown it to the people who own Crash Bandicoot and said like, "Hey, I got this new character. His name's Jack. If you let me own this franchise, I'll add him into the game." And I think if that happened, I think they just have to bow on their knees and do it out of like an obligation, right?
Well, it would be his offer to make.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Reference that one chapter with his mom's offer where it was phrased like it's not him offering his OC and his story to the executives at what is now Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's now his offer. Like, he's the one that's offering them the pleasure, really.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you remember more about this story than I do. I would not have been able to remember
you'll
that
remember.
weird, like, phrasing.
Well, I don't remember the exact phrasing, but I remember it was so weird in the sense that it was like made it so it seemed like it was. He really wanted to make sure that the audience knew that it was Jack's offer, not his mom's, and it was phrased in such a way that no human would ever say that, because no human would ever think that either.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all right. The group had just gotten home from their night out and seemed to be in high spirits. Crash more than the rest because he got shipped with Tana in the last chapter.
Yeah, he actually got paid attention to in this story for once.
Yeah. Giggle. You seem to be in a good mood, bro. Coco spoke, giggling to herself.
It was amazing dialogue.
As she took in. Oh, yeah, taking in. Remember that?
Oh, right.
Remember that
Everybody's
now?
taking in shit, yeah. Oh, right. I
And
can't
she
wait till
took in
people's
her-
eyes turn into dinner plates. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
remembering
okay.
that. You're remembering that. There's cues in the
Yeah.
story to help you remind. That's why he wrote it like that.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
people
you
would
know.
come. And she took in her brother and his sudden happy-go-lucky attitude change. Oh yeah, like it's just so spontaneous and like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Crash acting kind of, kind of outrageous is not in his character.
I always associate him with the brooding type.
Yeah, he's calm and collected, kind of aloof, you know.
Yeah. Crash continued walking, bouncing off the back of his heels as he did. You bet I'm happy. I just got my girlfriend back. he said fist pumping for a moment. This is the longest time I've just noticed. The longest time that the story's actually focused on a character other than Jack.
Oh, you say that now.
Jack just chuckled.
Oh, great! Of course he does.
And his brother-in-law. It's official, I guess. It's official.
Dude.
He doesn't even need it to do a marriage license or anything. Because that would be submitting to the government. Like, it's to submit to him, because he's actually a higher authoritative figure than the government at this point.
Of course.
If he knows it to be, it's true.
God, I forgot how much I hated this aspect of the story. The whole, like, wife thing. Just, like, accepting that as, like, oh, yeah, I met you, like, 2 days ago, and I guess I'm just your wife now.
Oh my god, they used one of my favorite... Oh my god.
What?
Sorry, let me get to it. Jack just chuckled at his brother-in-law, retorting back, "Okay, lover boy."
Oh.
Dude, lover boy. Oh my god.
Dude, all I can think of is Manky Mice, Chapter 6.
Oh my god. Reel it in. Yeah, right. Reel it in before you make a bigger fool of yourself. Wow, way to belittle Crash. Like
yeah, like,
on his girlfriend.
God damn, dude, like
you're like, oh yeah, feel happy now, but you'll just make a fool of yourself. You'll
yeah, come
ruin
on.
it all.
You don't want to. Oh my god, I'm surprised he didn't say you're gonna embarrass me.
This got a laugh out of his wife, and the irritated shouted, "Hey!" from the Bandicoot he just made fun of. At the moment, Aku decided to change the subject.
Yeah.
There wasn't much of a subject to begin with, let's be honest.
Yeah, I think Aku just got bored of this conversation. As did we.
Diane, didn't you tell us earlier today that we all needed to get stronger?
Oh yeah, the story had a plot.
Yeah, Aku really bringing in with the real subjects here.
Talking to Diane. This is Jack's mom.
Did Jack's mom come with them?
Yeah, I think so. I think she did.
Darn. The Tiki Guardian asked, getting a nod from Diane in response. I did say that. Why do you ask? How are we gonna get stronger exactly? Oh my god, it's time for the training arc. Oh my god.
Heck yeah, dude.
Diane thought over the question before give her son a nod, saying that he'll explain. Yeah, you can't even give Diane an important enough dialogue to explain, like, the next plot. You have to give it back.
Why wouldn't Aku just talk to Jack directly? Like, I mean, at this point, it's like you can't even pretend that any of these characters even matter.
Yeah, like, why doesn't anyone just only talk to Jack? Like, whenever Crash wants to talk to his girlfriend, just talk to Jack, because he'll know more what's going on.
Yeah, well, Jack knows what Coco wants and what Coco needs, you know?
Well, more to Crash's girlfriend. But yeah, that too. Jack cleared his throat. As he took it in, Gabe. The attention everyone was sending him before he spoke. Well, the easiest way for us all to get stronger quickly would be to use that room. And in case you forgot, the author does like to, like,
right, he
no
does.
Reason.
Yeah, he'll set up. Oh god, yeah. I'm like remembering
like,
all this guy's like writing tics. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, like he for no reason says that room, like not even explaining what the room is, just because he's setting up for him to explain
for the reveal.
What the room is.
Yeah.
And of course someone's gonna go, "What room are you talking about?" And Jack's gonna give him a sigh and go, "All right, let's continue."
Yeah.
Diane and her husband nodded in agreement. However, the Bandicoots were still confused and a little uneasy from not knowing what to expect. Seeing this, Jack decided to let his wife ask the question they were all thinking.
Such a fucking arm. It's just so stupid. It's the fact that Jack knows they're gonna ask that in response. He's like, well, I might as well just let my wife ask that question instead of just saying it. It's like, He's not even trying to pretend that that's what he's doing. Oh god.
And he probably knew that when even saying that room. He just wanted to be like...
Yeah, he just wanted to be
"Oh
mysterious for
my
no fucking
God."
reason. Oh my
And,
god.
like, how self-centered do you be that you want people to ask you like this? Like you... I don't know. It's so stupid. What room are you talking about? She asked, as Jack began to look around, almost looking like he was making sure he wasn't being watched. Oh yeah, sure. Follow me into the house, and we'll show you, he said, beginning to lead people into the house. After the group went in, Jack led them into the game room.
Go to the game room. They're gamers.
The game room. Okay.
Not the game room.
What's so important about this room? Crash asked, looking confused. Jack chuckled to himself, muttering, "You'll see."
Oh my god.
So here's a huge problem with that line of questioning. They're like, how are we going to get stronger? We'll use that room. If they went into that room to get stronger, what do you freaking think that room's going to be used for? Why do you think that room's important? Like, gosh darn it, Crash. Critical thinking skills, man.
Yeah.
Before going over to one of the walls and revealing a hidden panel with a keypad on it. He then began to put in a long password no one could figure out. Oh, way to belittle everyone on Earth.
It's just, I don't know, it's just so, like, weirdly specific to just point out the fact that no one can figure out this super long keypad. Like, yeah, Jack's the only one smart enough to know. Ugh.
Well, no one else could hack it, because, you know...
Well, he's so smart that he puts in a password no one can figure out. You know, he's unhackable, you know?
Before the keypad accepted it, within moments the room began to change and morph into what looked like a giant dome with some form of device in the middle of it. "What does that do?" Coco asked, looking like an excited child in a candy store, making Jack laugh at her antics.
That feels very, like, condescending. I mean, not like it hasn't been that entire time, but it's like, you directly parallel Coco to being a child, and then, you know, Jack's like, "Oh, you silly kid." Despite the fact that she's supposed to be his wife. Like,
you know, funny enough, we actually have commented, I believe, a few times in the past about, like...
There was one line in particular that was really bad with that sort of, like, implication. If I recall.
He also likes to use a young girl to describe his wife, too.
Yeah.
Deeply concerned about that.
I was also confused at how old Coco's, like, supposed to be in general and also in the story. But...
You gotta, like... I know we've talked and interrupting this a lot, but this really bugs me how he continuously, like, it's like, you know, like whenever you were trying to establish a setting for like something or establish some sort of plot and you have the who, what, where, how, you know, why is this important and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, instead of trying to explain that in the story, like make it speak for itself, he literally has to ask these questions as explicitly as possible to make Jack them explain to them as condescending as possible.
Yeah.
It's hardly even like a coherent story. Like at that point, because it's like these questions should be underlying in the story, not like. Well, I don't know. I'm sorry. I guess it's just bothering me the way this is written. And that's pretty much it. Jack then began to explain after getting Coco to calm herself. Basically, my mom and I created this device that sends people into a realm that can help you to train. It's that, notice the fact, I want to point this out quickly, notice the fact that says, I created this device that can send people, so it's like general, into a realm that can help you, and it moves into like, this is you need this.
Yeah.
To help you to train in a quick amount of time. Seeing no reaction, Jack continued, "If it takes 2 months for someone to get stronger in the real world than in here," Jack trailed off, pointing at the device. "The amount of time will be shortened drastically." So it's like Inception, you know. Apparently. Yeah. Coco then spoke, asking, spoke asking?
Coco then spoke asking. Yeah, that's not very elegantly put. It should just be Coco then asked.
But they're always asking. Maybe trying to mix it up.
Yeah, I guess he's trying to mix it up despite the fact that it doesn't really make... It's very, like, redundant.
You know what, Gabe, at this point, we need to see, whenever there's a question that someone asks, we need to do it in, like, the most, like, baby, like, well, how does that work? Or, like, you know, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so stupid. And if your training takes a year or two in the real world, it would take a day or two at most in there? You didn't say that.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, no, he just said the time will be drastically shortened, and then
Yeah,
Coco just explained exactly that a year or two will be a day or two in there.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Now they're just straight up asking questions that don't even make sense for characters to ask, just to explain things.
Well, they don't know jack shit, and then they instantly know exactly how it works.
Jack smiled honestly, impressed that the girl could summarize it that quickly. Ah, yes. Thank you for condescending her even more. Oh, I'm so impressed that you
so
could
impressed
say
that you actually
sentence.
know what I'm talking about, because I'm just so smart for you.
Well, it wasn't even that knows what I'm talking about. It said summarize it. Like, as in, like, oh, I'm so impressed that you could say that.
Yeah.
That simple concept. I mean, it's not a, like, whatever. Ugh. Yes, Coco, that is exactly it. That's incredible, Crash said, astonished. That it is, Crash. But for now, I think our main priority should be getting to bed, don't you think? Okay, I guess they're just gonna leave the room now. Thank you for that, Jack.
Yeah, we just need to see it a little bit and just walk off and, yeah.
Well, he needed to set up the thing. We need to use that room, then explain it, then go to bed.
Yeah.
You know, Diana asked for... How many convolutions do you do to make this story work? Like, you just keep going off and off, like random segues, like inserting random mythical items in here, random, like, I own this. Now here's a different dimension that I own. Like, I'm sorry, I'm getting really stuck up on the very beginning of this chapter, but it's very hard for me, Gabe. It's very hard.
Yeah, it's about to get better, too.
That it is, Crash, but for now, I think our main priority should be getting to bed. Don't you think? Diane asked. Oh, is Diane... Oh, receiving a nod from her own private... Oh, it's Diane. Good for her.
Yeah, she's actually talking.
Okay, then. We'll get our training started tomorrow. Agreed? Jack asked before everyone nodded again.
No, of course.
You can't ask that type of question, Jack, when you know their answer is yes.
Yeah.
Obviously. With that, everyone headed off to their rooms after Jack reset the room back to its original state. Jack was now lying on his bed waiting for his wife to join him after she changed clothes. While he was waiting, Jack was thinking to himself, you know, I never did introduce Coco to him yet. Again with this?
Yeah, Jay. Oh my god.
With that, he began to clasp a necklace in his hand, reciting an old chant as he did. I'm glad that he's a sorcerer as well.
I like how that he instantly, he's like, you know, I did never introduce Coco. I'll just do it right away.
Within seconds, there's a bright flash before a husky with black and white fur stood in front of the bed. The dog took a moment to get its bearings before barking happily and going to its owner to let him scratch behind his ears. Jack just laughed, happy to hear his companion was pleased. You ever think being in the same room as Jack is just obnoxious because there's just a ton of loud laughter constantly? And explanations.
It's just explaining.
Do you feel better now that you can stretch your legs? Cerberus? Oh my god.
Oh.
Cerberus, the guardian of the underworld in Greek mythology, is Jack's pet.
Oh yeah, it's Jack's epic, dude. And it's a husky.
And it's for some reason colored white and black. I'm not
Well,
sure
it's because
if
Jack
accurate.
is white and black, dude.
Yeah,
Because he's good and bad at the same time. He can be your Angle and your Devil.
Yeah, you right. You feel better now that you can stretch out your legs, Cerberus? Jack asked, as Cerberus yipped happily in response. Am I hearing a dog? Coco asked as she came out of the bathroom. Within moments, Coco found herself pinned to the floor by happy Cerberus, who now looked like a husky puppy. Now looked? I guess it transformed into a puppy.
Yeah, just
husky. Oof. Giggle. You must be Cerberus then. What? Okay, I guess.
She just accepts the fact that this dog has just randomly showed up.
Husky puppy.
Yeah.
Husky puppy happens to be Cerberus.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not entirely sure that she would know that, would she?
There was it was briefly mentioned in a previous chapter about the stupid necklace and the dogs that live within them or whatever.
Yeah, right. She asked, not needing an answer. Oh, thank God. I thought Jack was gonna... As the pup began licking her face, making her laugh. No, down boy, stop it. Haha! Jack laughed as he got the pup off her to help her off the floor. Yeah, she couldn't even get a puppy off of her.
Yeah, come on.
I see. Now you've gotten quite acquainted with him. You could say that. Jack took a moment to look his wife over before saying, "You know, I think you should leave your hair down like that. I think you should leave your hair down like it is now." Coco turned crimson as she processed that before quickly starting up. What makes you say that? Still brushing bright. Coco, is Coco's hair usually in pigtails?
It's usually in a ponytail.
Oh, right. God, now I have to imagine Coco with I'm imagining extremely long straight hair for some reason. Okay.
Yeah.
What makes you say that? Still brushing bright. Jack took a moment to think before he spoke. I think you just look nice with your hair down is all. He said, blushing a little himself.
Oh my god. This is like you writing shipping where everybody's just blushing.
Dude, that is literally how that's how I see it in anime and this apparently. Everyone just blushes and does what is essentially small talk.
Yeah, it just blushes and very minor compliments.
What are you doing holding the door for me, dummy? That sort of thing, He said, blushing a little himself. Feeling flattered, she gave him a kiss on the cheek. Consider that a thank you. With that, the two of them fell asleep. I'm just imagining they immediately fell asleep after that.
Yeah, they just passed out.
With the husky pup sleeping in between them, Coco was awoken the next morning by Cerberus sniffing her. Stop it, boy. I'm up now, okay?
She just accepts the fact that a dog is there pretty easily, despite the fact that no dog has existed in this house up to this point.
Dude, she'd probably accept the fact if Jack's home was literally hell, and you're like, okay, here you go. She'd probably go oh, thank you. This is the best thing I've ever experienced.
Wow, your house is so amazing.
As she skinny dips into pools of lava. She said as she tried to swat the dog away. After taking a few minutes to change, she headed to the kitchen. Morning, everyone, she mumbled. Jack chuckled, still half asleep. She received a slow nod. Figured as much. He trailed off for a moment. I kind of understand why authors try to keep a little bit of variety when writing. I do understand it now.
Yeah.
before shouting, "Cerberus, here, boy!" Within seconds, the moment of barking could be heard as the husky came barreling down the hall and into the kitchen, stopping in front of his owner, who seemed to be looking at the stopwatch. Wow, 10 seconds faster than before. Nice going, boy.
So is he like training the dog in like a triathlon or like what?
No, he's timing specifically how long it takes Cerberus to get from the bed to the kitchen for some reason.
It's with no motivation as to why he does that at all. He just
Maybe
feels
he's
like
just a super genius and just always memorize the timing of everything.
Oh yeah, man. I'm
And have
surprised
to let
he
the
needed a
audience
stopwatch. He just didn't memorize the exact like microseconds in his head.
That'd be too overpowered game.
Yeah,
Jack's not an
you know.
overpowered character.
Jack's not an overpowered character. He's not literally a complete genius.
Yeah, that's right. He said as he went about filling the dog's bowl. Crash then decided to bring up the obvious elephant in the room. You mean, dog? Just joking.
Yeah, man.
Who the heck is this dog? He shouted. Nice. He shouted as he got a conk on the head from Coco, along with the retort of, "Lower your voice, dang it." "Sorry, sis." The older of the two apologized. Jack then cut in before anyone else could say anything and explained the story of Cerberus to Crash. Crunch. Oh, Crunch is there.
Yeah, Crunch gets mentioned in this chapter.
I kind of wish Crash was just still on the island. You know, just he was forgotten.
Yeah. Dude, has Crunch had a single line of dialogue in this entire story?
I'm not sure.
I actually
not
don't
sure.
think he did. He might have had like maybe one in like chapter 2 or something, but I don't know.
You might get one next chapter, actually. And that's it.
Maybe, yeah.
And Aku Aku, as if they were the only ones out of the loop.
Yeah, come on. Unlike us.
Yeah, what is wrong with you guys? You should all know about Jack's life.
Yeah,
That's
come on.
not your fault.
He gave him the pamphlet, dude.
So that's the story on Dog Boy over there.
Makes so
That's
much sense.
That's exactly the sentence I can imagine Crash the Bandicoot saying.
Exactly.
Crash said as the now looking fully grown husky. Oh, so it like transforms its age?
Yeah, it can like grow older and younger at will for some reason.
That makes sense. Looking at him curiously, Jack just nodded before he took everyone to the hidden room where the device was kept after finishing breakfast. Now, before I... Wait a second, was it? Never mind. Now, before I start this thing up, I need you three to put these on your person, he said as he handed Coco and her brothers what looked to be beads of some sort. Wait a second. 3 people?
Yeah.
Crash, Crunch, Coco, and Aku Aku? 3 people?
Well, no, man. Aku Aku... We're gonna get to Aku Aku in a second, but yes. It's just Crash, Coco, and Crunch.
Oh, okay. Why? Coco asked, honestly kind of curious.
Oh, she was honestly curious this time. Unlike before, where she was curious but not in an honest sense.
Well, don't you know that she was forced against her will to ask random, like, leading questions so Jack can explain?
She was forced against her will to become the wife of this guy who she met 3 days ago.
And was forced to like it, Gabe. You're forgetting that part.
Yeah. Well, Jack's such a good person.
Having expected that question.
Yeah. As if he didn't just, like... Why would he... Okay, if he expects this person to ask why doesn't he just explain it without them having to ask?
I think he's literally forcing everyone to constantly ask questions.
He started to
so that he can then explain. Because that's literally how that is phrased, having expected the question.
The fucking
right?
author is starting to get, like, self-aware at how fucking stupid it's just written.
Having expected the question, he began to elaborate. The thing I just gave you are trackers. We'll need them when we arrive in the world that the device sends us, he says as he begins to put in a long string of code on the device's keypad. I guess people couldn't learn that one, not the password though.
Yeah.
Before anyone could ask what he was doing, they were cut off by the device crashing and clanking as it sprung to life before it opened up a portal of sorts and it went quiet again. Jack took a moment to look over his shoulder at the group. You ready, guys? He asked, receiving firm nods from them in return. Then, without missing a beat, Jack leaped through the portal with Cerberus beside him. Then went Diane. Oh, I guess his mom is coming with him.
Well, yeah, she's a kung fu master.
Leaving Diane and John. Oh yeah, the dad that got mentioned that one time.
Yeah, the dad who had one line of dialogue, which is still more than
I
French.
thought he works. Yeah, leaving the bandicoots, whom took a moment more to work up the courage to jump in as well. After taking a moment to get their vision back, the bandicoot family. What are they even doing anymore? What is the plot of this story? Like,
well, they're going into an alternate. They're going into an alternate dimension so that they can train in order to be Cortex, who Jack cut his fucking arm off in their first meeting within 5 seconds of meeting each other.
But the author has not convinced me that Jack couldn't just like immediately kill Cortex, which is in his entire mission.
I think like, if there's okay, well, let's say if there's one thing this story needs, but I think like if you're gonna write a story like this, you need to establish like the villain at all, like you like
and the obstacles.
Well, yeah, because it's not like, just that Cortex showed up, got his arm cut off, and then ran away, and has basically not shown up. Like, there was another brief moment where they're like, oh, we found this dark secret about Jack, which is implied his, like, previous universe, which everybody's just okay with anyways. But, but, like, aside from that, like, Cortex and Engine and all the villains, like, they literally haven't showed up or done anything, or, like, we haven't, like, cut to them, like, scheming. So there's, like, no reason for us to think that this is even a threat at all. Like, why do they need to grow powerful?
There's no stakes either.
Yeah, there's
no stakes.
Like, there's no stakes whatsoever. We just have to believe that, I guess, at some point there will be a tough opponent to fight, even though we haven't... There's been no hints and no, like, showing at all, like, that's even going to be the case. Like if... Also... Like, imagine this person actually finishes the fucking, like, whole storyline that they've written, and, like, I just imagine, like, during, like, the final fight, it'll just be, like, they just defeat him instantly with, like, no trouble. Like, there's gonna be no conflict when, like, the final battle comes in this story.
Yeah, well, like, yeah, when you spend your entire story establishing that your main characters, which are also the heroes, are useless... compared to this one guy.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't established how Jack couldn't just immediately end the problem himself.
Yeah.
Or even why these characters need to be stronger, or why they even have hope whatsoever for them.
Yeah.
Like, they just need to get stronger, Gabe. Let's just leave it at that. Like, holy smokes.
Mm-hmm.
Did they even lift? Like, we need to know.
Yeah. Well, we'll know what Crash Bandicoot, like how strong he is. We'll figure that out soon enough. But
yeah, I guess you're right. He did let that Tiny destroy the entire island.
Oh yeah,
that was entirely his fault.
Oh right, it was entirely Crash's fault, 100%. Oh god.
He just sat there watching for 20 minutes. Also, Jack was doing that too, but he's
more morally righteous, and he's the one who fucking... Oh, you know what? Won't dwell on what Jack did.
After taking a moment to get their vision back. Oh my god, vicarious vision?
Oh my god.
No.
It's a reference.
The Bandicoot family took a look at the realm they were now in. They took note of a giant mountain in the distance, which seemed to have a large amount of snow on the top.
As mountains
That's the
tend
most...
to.
Yeah, that's the most generic description of a mountain ever. There's also a mountain similar to it right beside it, with the only obvious change with the other one being that the top was the opening to a volcano. So it's a volcano.
Why don't you just call it a volcano? Yeah, the only obvious change was the fact that it's a completely different structure.
You described the most, like, generic mountain ever. And you're like, there's also this other thing that looks exactly like it. That opens to be a volcano.
Yeah.
No, maybe opening to a volcano. Does that mean there's like it's a
Oh,
mountain?
yeah, well, it's a
But, like, there's a
mountain
volcano
that's
inside the
over
mountain?
top a volcano. Yeah, okay.
This place is, Coco muttered, almost breathless. Amazing. Coco, how would anything that you ever experienced in a story not be the best thing you've ever seen in your life?
Well, yeah, it's because Jack introduced him to it.
Oh, Aku finished the sentence. Finish the young girl's sentence. Stop saying that, author. Gosh darn it. Your self-insert wife should not be described as a young girl constantly, or a child. That's not okay. Hey. The group suddenly heard what sounded like a voice calling for them. Following. Did they not know how to spell that word?
Yeah, no, this isn't the
Fallow.
first time he's spelled follow as fallow. I think he's done this consistently throughout the entire story.
Following it, they quickly found what looked to be a large flight of stairs. And at the bottom was Jack.
So are they just like outdoors? With like a staircase?
Yeah,
or like what? The
Calling
only
for their
description of
attention.
the place they were in is just the fact that there's a mountain in the distance. Like there's no description of their immediate surroundings.
That is totally true. They look and see, and I'm just imagining a completely flat Minecraft-esque landscape.
That's what I thought
with, like,
too,
two
but it's
mountains
like,
in the distance.
but I mean theoretically
like-
they could be inside like a house. Like there's nothing contradicting that either, you know?
And they're like, this is amazing, as they witness like a completely average part of the world.
Yeah, like damn, I've never seen a mountain before, despite the fact that I'm sure they've been like in the Crash Bandicoot games. There's been like a mountain level or something, right?
Probably, I'm sure.
Who knows?
Crash the never mind, whatever. Anyway, following it, they quickly found what looked to be a large flight of stairs. The bottom was Jack, calling for their attention with his parents not too far behind him. Wow, he's so cool. Isn't he cool with his
He's
parents
so
there?
cool with his
They
parents.
support him? Yeah. The group quickly descended the stairs to rejoin the rest of the group. Well, what do you think? He asked. So far, what I think, Jack, is that you're literally going down a staircase in the middle of nowhere with two mountains in the far distance. Like, I'm not sure what else to think here.
Yeah, like
He asked, smiling broadly. This place is incredible, Coco said, speaking for the group, making Jack nod. Glad you think so. He then trailed off as he began to circle the Bandicoot's antique mask.
Yeah, there shouldn't be
So
there's
So the tiki mask is there. So when
Yeah.
he said 4 people.
yeah, Aku
There's
is there.
3
I guess he
people.
just didn't need the beads or whatever, and also the fact I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Now on to the next order of business. Whom will be training with whom? Man, such riveting plot development.
This is like the most like what's it? It's like the most
Non-story?
no, it's the most petty thing for me to complain about, but I always like it when like authors who don't know like how to use the word whom try to use it to look smart. Because you use whom will be training with whom, even though like
Who will be training with whom?
yeah, it's the grammatically correct way is who will be training with whom. Like, using whom in both cases is not grammatically correct. And you can literally say, like, who will be training with
It's
who.
morally correct
Like-
because
like-
Jack said it.
Like, the fact that you use whom draws attention to the fact that you're trying to be grammatically correct. Like, if you just said who will be training with who, I wouldn't care. But the fact that you've used whom deliberately to be, like, grammatically correct and then just failing that anyways just makes it look worse. I don't know.
You know, that is true. Whenever you use whom, you bring attention to the fact that you're using whom.
Mhm.
This is such a commonly unused.
Yeah, like
word.
nobody uses whom in regular speak. So if you're gonna use whom, like at least make sure it's grammatically correct.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Dude, we keep breaking up this text. Maybe we should, like, moving forward, like, put, like, the text somewhere on the screen so at least people know what's part of the text and not.
Yeah, I don't know, I might take pictures and then just like put the image on
Oh,
screen
yeah.
or something, who knows.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but I feel like that's... Maybe people like listening to us talk somehow. Or maybe it's just, a video of reading a dumb fan fiction, us complaining the entire time.
Complaining about this horrible thing. I mean, yeah.
He then took on a serious expression, akin to an army commander. Oh, is that what Jack is now? He's as this expression and attitude is becoming of an army commander. So cool.
Great.
Akin to an army commander before speaking again. He looked at Crash, causing said Bandicoot back to straighten on instinct. I'll train you personally.
Why doesn't he train Coco personally? I mean...
Well, he does train her at night. I'm just joking.
Come on, man. But I mean, like, he has, like, the most, like, personal connection with her. Like, it's whatever.
Well, he trailed off as he looked at Crunch.
Oh, yeah, he's just trailing off.
Well, because it's off topic to talk about Crunch,
Yeah.
My father will be training you.
The two most irrelevant characters in the story.
You don't even see how Crunch reacts. He doesn't even say anything.
Yeah,
he doesn't even react to him.
It's fine.
He then smirked as he looked at Aku, Haku, and Coco both, making the two flinch under his intimidating gaze. My mother will be training the both of you. I'm sorry, it was really hard to take that line seriously. Like, imagine trying to, like, be this most intimidating person, and you're, like, making the two flinch under his intimidating gaze.
So and his next mother will be training the both of you. Like, I do have to commend Jack on this one thing, is the fact that trash, overpowered, edgy OCs like this are usually, like, orphans. That they usually don't have parents.
He doesn't have a tragic backstory. Except for the tragic backstory.
Oh, yeah, he's not completely a complete hack fraud,
Well, I'm at least proud of Jack for giving people other than him an important role.
Yeah, he just figured he might as well just, be nice like that.
He then trailed off. Again? As he turned to look out at the landscape, this, nondescript two mountains in the background landscape. Although one mountain is the same as the other, but it's a volcano. Mm-hmm. His parents went over to stand on either side of him, facing the group, putting them all on edge again. The Bandicoots couldn't help but sweat drop at these three as they all thought, just how intimidating can they be?
Yeah, man, they're so cool.
Oh, sorry. We should make some things clear, however, Jack said, drawed everyone's attention.
Oh, this is John. This isn't Jack.
Oh, shoot.
I know.
We should make some things clear, however, John suddenly said, drawing everyone's attention. The training we'll be putting you through will be brutal. It will feel like you're going through hell. If you like us now, by the time we're done, you'll love and hate us all in one. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
He finished glancing over to Diane, indicating it was her turn to speak.
Again, surprising. What?
I'm surprised he didn't look over to Jack. And Jack to look over to Diane.
Yeah.
Diane to look over to Jack so that Jack can indicate when
Jack's, yeah.
The thing that you need to survive out here is the thing you need to survive out here is a will to survive. Wow, inspirational. I'm sorry, that just hurt me.
I mean, I guess if you want to survive, I guess you have to want to survive, to be fair.
Oh my god, this is as good training arc as if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, I feel. It's gonna turn into that, I feel.
Except this is gonna go on for 5 fucking hours longer than that.
Oh yeah, you know it. And you will enjoy every second of it. Swear to God. Because if you don't have the will to survive, Diane trailed off.
You will not survive.
Yeah, you trailing off is a sign of lack of will to survive.
Yeah.
Ugh. Glancing at her son, whom was now glancing at the group over his shoulder. He's looking away from them. Come on.
Yeah, he's
That's
trying to be
so-
like super like edgy and cool.
Oh my god. So he turned his back randomly and then turned facing them.
Yeah.
Looked over his shoulder, giving them a clear look of his dark black eye. Oh, that's so dumb. The beasts that live in this world will try and kill you. Will try and will try and will kill you should you get the chance. Should they get the chance. Darn.
They will kill you,
You're
and
saying-
if they don't kill you, at least they'll try.
Darn. Can you believe that Jack would let his waifu die on him?
Again.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And he wouldn't be the cause of that time, so it's a little different.
Yeah, it wouldn't be his fault, you know.
Oh no, wasn't it like whatever?
No,
I
it was
think
just
was
Cortex
actually
random.
Cortex
Yeah, Cortex randomly like broke into the building and shot her or something.
Freaking amazing, man. Can we have that again? Can we have the characters randomly die, but with Jack, and everyone just doesn't know what to do because no one will explain anything?
Yeah, they just ask.
just ask-
They just ask leading questions to nobody.
He then turned fully before he and his parents all said the same thing. Are we understood? As soon as that was said, every one of them saluted.
Minus
Aku
Aku
Aku.
Aku. Of course. You know, he doesn't have hands.
And shouted, "Sir, yes, sir." Diane's stern expression was quickly replaced by a happy smile. Good. Now, does anyone have any questions? Jack laughed a little as she asked that because the group suddenly relaxed in a way that was almost comical.
It was almost comical, but it wasn't.
I think that was the author's attempt to say that the fact that they switched from serious to happy was supposed to be funny, and Jack literally just said that just to emphasize, just to say that it was supposed to be funny to the reader.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. That's how it sounds.
Yeah.
Aku Aku was the one who spoke next, turning to Diane as he did. I get training Coco, but why train me? I'm not but a tiki guardian. However,
Yeah.
Diane
Isn't it
quickly
established that
said-
he's incredibly powerful though? Like Aku Aku, like in the games.
I thought he was a god, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, like something like that.
Dude, if you can train a god, you can... whatever. However, Diane quickly said, I can fix that.
Oh,
And within
great.
moments, Diane and the tiki mask were enveloped in a pillar of light. The group could only stand astonished as Diane began to chant in a strange language. And Aku Aku made a change in form and shape. First, the skeleton appeared behind the mask, then the organs and muscle mass appeared. The nerves and everything else came next. And then, just as quickly as it came, the light faded, leaving Diane and Aku Aku to themselves. No one dared try to move. They were worried that something may happen to Aku Aku if they did. Why would they
Explanation
do
mark.
that?
Why is there an exclamation point on that sentence too?
Yeah, they're worried that since Aku Aku is this person, they might die because they move. Okay. Eventually, Coco found her voice again, carefully turning to her masked friend and asking, Aku Aku, is that you?
Amen. Is that you?
I love the fact that they know explicitly that he's Aku Aku. Like, the previous sentence, like, kind of implied that.
Yeah.
But she literally just had to go out of her way to ask, and is Coco just only... She only asks questions she already knows at this point. Or, like, things that... I hate this. This story is so hard to continuously read without stopping to, like...
Yeah.
Huh? However, instead of answering her, he took off the mask.
Look how he
Aku
takes
Aku. Aku Aku takes off the mask.
His only defining
what?
trait before this moment is the fact that he is a mask and he just discards it.
You know what? Can I take a suggestion? Can I give you a suggestion, Gabe?
Yeah.
Call the video. Aku Aku finally takes off the mask.
It's with the mask. Yeah, exactly.
Revealing a tan-looking Indian man. Why does he have to be an Indian man?
Not only is he a tan, he's an Indian man, but he's also a tan-looking Indian man. As if, like, no offense, but like Indian people already kind of have like brownish skin.
Yeah.
Like, what would a tan-looking Indian man look like?
You know what, Abe? I think that's actually racist because I think he was trying to go for like whatever tribe or like race would be kind of like with the tiki voodoo-esque aesthetic.
Yeah, it's like
and
like
just
the
assumed it was
Yeah,
and assumed it was Indian.
it was Indian,
which is not even correct.
Even though it would be more like Polynesian because he's from like Australia. So yeah.
Did the author look at some people from like that general thing and assume they're Indian because they're like colored or something?
Well, Aku Aku, he lives in Australia, but he actually immigrated from India. You know.
You know what? Who am I to judge? Aku Aku could be Indian, or better yet, I like the premise of Diane for no apparent reason transforming him into an Indian man.
He transformed him into like a human man. It's just like why? Like what is even the purpose of this? Like it's not like Aku Aku isn't powerful already in Crash Bandicoot lore. I guess he just needs to be a human tan-looking Indian man.
Would he even be an Indian man if he wasn't Indian in the first place?
Yeah.
It's like, darn it. He took a moment to let his eyes adjust before he spoke, smiling as he did. Yes, Coco, it really is me. At that moment, Coco's mind was a whirlwind of emotions. She didn't know what to do. What to think. Kilo. So she did the only thing her body would allow, embrace her friend and cry. Oh yes,
yeah,
like the fact that he wasn't a human man and hers.
Like why? Like, look, I think this scene goes on for a little bit longer, so I might interject after it, but.
I just love the concept of like now the story's treating it like Aku
like it's like this emotional
this internal curse.
Yeah, like he's like a,
free.
it's like he's like
finally...
a man. Yeah, it's like a man. It's like Aku Aku is like a man in a wheelchair that's finally like he's been walked for the first time in 30 years. Except the fact that he's like a living mask who's turned into a human man. Like that was his limitation. This is the stupidest shit ever. Who the fuck, like who looked at Aku Aku and was like, yes, this ancient god of the island is this poor man who's limited only to be a living floating mass that can shoot like laser beams and make people invincible. Like what he really needed was a human body to be complete. Like
I love the concept of like that, looking at Aku Aku, like looking at that art and going, "Oh, you poor, tan-looking Indian man."
Dude, okay, if this story got further along, I would have loved to see the evil mask Uka Uka. Like they have the confrontation. Uka Uka's also like a tan-looking Indian man.
He's a Chinese man.
Oh yeah, he's Chinese, you know.
Oh my god. Oh, holy smokes. I gotta admit, this is one of the funniest moments in the entire fan fiction for me. This moment right here. Top tier.
Just so fucking
Aku
stupid.
finally takes off his mask. Finally. He's cured. Then to her surprise, Aku Aku began to do the same. Oh, he was also crying.
Yeah,
embracing.
dude.
Oh, that poor Indian man. Darn it, man. After that, Crash and Crunch both went into the hug crying just as much as the other. No one said a word. Who could really? Yeah, who could really? Anyone who had seen this would have been a loss for words.
I fucking love that line so much because it just describes the emotion of this scene perfectly, but absolutely not in the way that this person intended. it's like, yeah, I guess I am at a loss for words that this fucking happened.
Anyone who would have seen this would have been at a loss for words. The tender moment continued for a few moments before Jack cleared his throat, getting everyone's attention. I hate to be one to ruin the mood, but we need to get going before we start to lose daylight.
It
was too.
Yeah. We don't need to waste time in this dimension where time like passes extremely slowly or whatever.
We also don't need to like appreciate anything other than me.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
Also, I mean, after all, the only reason why they're training is basically just to like. Well, it is to fight Cortex.
They're here to show off cool powers.
Yeah.
They're here to show off cool powers. There's nothing beyond that. Also, I'm not even like. Was it really that much magic? Like actual, like just like, poof! I make this happen in the other chapters. I don't really think that.
I mean, Jack did turn into an epic Grim Reaper with flames in his eyes at one point.
Oh, that was a one-time thing. That was just a phase. Yeah. Like how everyone has a Ghost Rider phase at some point in their life.
He just never got out of it.
With that, the four got their nerves under control. Yeah, you gotta keep yourself under control, guys.
We just witnessed our friend turn into a human man. Take off the only thing that he was known for.
And Jack summons Cerberus, telling Crash. I like how he's decided to lowercase. By the way, in case you didn't know, he's lowercasing some of the names now because they're not even as significant enough to formalize.
Yeah.
So Cerberus telling Crash, "You're riding on Cerberus. Make sure you keep up with me." The Bandicoot did as he was told, and began following Jack in the dense forest area, leaving the others to their own devices. "Well then, let's be off," Diane said, getting nods from Koku and Aku Aku as she began to lead the group in the direction of the snowy mountain, helping Aku Aku get used to his now human body along the way. What does that mean? How do you get... Well, I guess he was like stumbling about, I guess. I don't even know. Does Aku Aku have magic? Everyone else has magic except for Aku Aku, I feel.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Also, Aku Aku is a flying mask. Isn't giving him a human body kind of limiting to him?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Like, I don't know. It's so stupid. So stupid. I can't even comprehend. The more you think, the more you hurt, man. That just left Crunch and John, the most irrelevant characters ever, paired together.
The two characters with the least amount of impact on the story.
The two just shared a nod. That's the first action we've heard Crunch ever do, by the way, is nod.
He nodded.
Oh no, he did cry and hug.
He did cry and hug, and I think at some point his eyes turned into dinner plates. At some point.
As they began their trek towards the volcano. And so Jack and the Bandicoot's year of training to get stronger, surpass their limits, and shatter their own glass ceilings began.
It's like the most like shonen anime shit ever. Phrasing of that.
That's what this person watches. It was exclusively
this person was playing Crash Bandicoot, and it's like, man, I wish this was like Dragon Ball, dude.
Oh my god. Author's note. Boom. That's chapter 9 done. This was a blast to write. I hope you will have a blast reading it.
Oh.
Will have a blast reading it? As in we didn't just read the entire thing to get here?
Yeah, we will have a blast reading it again.
You all know the drill. Let me know what you think in a review. Foxhound out.
Oh, I'll give you a review.
I don't want to... Yeah, there's way too many things that I think... I'm sorry, Foxhound. There's way too much. Holy smokes. Well, Gabe.
Well, that was a beautiful chapter 9. It did take us an hour to read that. So I can't wait
There was
chapter
a lot
10.
in that.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a lot there.